Chapter 1, The Last Time I Saw My Brother. The rain had been falling for hours when my phone rang. I looked at the screen and frowned. Ethan. I answered immediately. Hey, what's wrong? My brother's voice came through low and shaky. I need to see you. My stomach tightened. Now? Yeah. Right now. What happened? I'll explain when you get here. Ethan, you're scaring me. There was a pause. Then he said quietly, just come to Murphy's bar. The line went dead. I stared at the phone for a moment. Ethan never sounded like that. Never. For the next 20 minutes, I drove through the rain with a knot in my chest. By the time I stepped into Murphy's bar, my jacket was soaked. The place smelled of beer and old wood. I spotted Ethan immediately. He was sitting alone in a corner booth. His leg bounced under the table. His eyes kept moving toward the entrance. I walked over. Hey. He looked up and forced a smile. You came. Of course I came. What's going on? I slid into the seat across from him. He leaned forward. Have you noticed anything strange lately? I blinked. What kind of strange? People watching you. No. Following you. No. His face tightened. Good. Ethan, talk to me. He rubbed both hands together. I found something. What? I can't explain here. I sighed. Then why call me here? Because I didn't know where else to go. That answer scared me more than anything. I had never seen fear in Ethan's eyes before. Not like this. I lowered my voice. Are you in trouble? Maybe. With who? I don't know. That's not an answer. I know. He looked toward the door again. I followed his gaze. Nobody seemed interested in us. A couple argued near the bar. Two men watched a game on television. Nothing unusual. I looked back at him. Start from the beginning. Before he could answer, a bartender approached. You boys need anything? Ethan jumped slightly. The bartender noticed. You okay, buddy? Yeah. You sure? Yeah. The bartender shrugged. What can I get you? Coffee, I said. Ethan shook his head. Nothing for me. The bartender walked away. I watched Ethan carefully. You're acting paranoid. Maybe I should be. What does that mean? He opened his mouth. Then stopped. His eyes widened. What? He was staring behind me. I turned. A man in a dark coat had just entered the bar. That's all. When I looked back, Ethan seemed pale. Do you know him? I don't know. Then why are you staring? He swallowed hard. I need to tell you something. Then tell me. If anything happens to me. I slammed my hand on the table. Stop. He froze. Don't talk like that. I'm serious. So am I. For a moment neither of us spoke. Finally I said, whatever this is, we'll handle it. A weak smile crossed his face. You always say that. Because it's true. The smile faded. I hope you're right. The bartender returned with my coffee. As soon as he left, Ethan stood. I need the restroom. I frowned. Now. I'll be right back. Ethan. 2 minutes. Then he walked away. I watched him disappear down the hallway. 2 minutes passed. Then 5. Then 10. I checked my phone. Nothing. 15 minutes. I finally stood and walked toward the restroom. The door creaked open. Empty. My pulse quickened. I checked the second stall. Nothing. Ethan. No answer. I hurried back into the bar. The booth was empty. His jacket was gone. I walked straight to the bartender. "Where's my brother?" He looked confused. "He left." "What? A few minutes ago." "No, he didn't." "Yeah, he did." "Through the front?" "No." He pointed toward a door near the kitchen. "Back exit." My heart started pounding. "Did someone go with him?" "I didn't see." "You're sure he left?" The bartender shrugged. "I think so." "You think so?" His expression hardened. "Look, man, I'm busy." I stared at him. Something felt wrong. Very wrong. I rushed outside through the back exit. The alley was empty. Rain hammered the pavement. "Ethan." Only thunder answered. I searched the nearby streets for nearly an hour. Nothing. His phone went straight to voicemail. I called again. And again. And again. No answer. Finally I returned to the bar. The fear inside me had become something colder. Something heavier. The bartender was wiping glasses. I approached him. "What time do your security cameras reset?" He looked up. "Why?" "Because my brother vanished." His face changed. "Look, the cameras aren't working." "What?" "They've been down all day." I stared at him. Every instinct in my body screamed that something was wrong. Then I noticed a small object sitting on our booth. I walked over. My breath caught. It was Ethan's silver lighter. The one he carried everywhere. I picked it up slowly. My hands shook. A memory flashed through my mind. "If I ever lose this thing," Ethan once joked, "you'll know something terrible happened." At the time, we had laughed. Standing there alone, I wasn't laughing anymore. I closed my fist around the lighter. For the first time that night, a horrible thought entered my mind. Maybe Ethan hadn't walked away. Maybe someone had made sure he never could. And deep down, I knew my life was about to change forever. I woke up on my couch after barely sleeping. The silver lighter was still in my hand. For a second, I hoped everything had been a nightmare. Then I looked at my phone. 23 missed calls. None of them were from Ethan. I grabbed my keys and drove straight to the police station. A tired officer looked up. "Can I help you?" "My brother is missing." "When did you last see him?" "Last night." He handed me a form. "Fill this out." "I don't want paperwork. I want someone to find him." A woman stepped out of a nearby office. "I'm Detective Rachel Hayes. Come with me." I followed her into a small interview room. She sat across from me. "I'm sorry about your brother. Start from the beginning." I told her everything. The phone call. The bar. The stranger in the dark coat. The broken security cameras. The silver lighter. She listened without interrupting. When I finished, she folded her hands. "Did your brother have any mental health problems?" "No." "Money troubles?" "No." "Relationship issues?" "Not that I know of." She nodded. "We'll look into it." "That's it?" "It's only been one night. He didn't just disappear." "We don't know that." I leaned forward. "You think he ran away?" I didn't say that. You didn't have to. She sighed. We've already checked his bank activity. My stomach tightened. What about it? He emptied his savings yesterday. What? Every dollar. I shook my head. That doesn't make sense. He also quit his job 3 days ago. No. She slid a document across the table. There are witness statements. I stared at the paper. Ethan's signature was at the bottom. My heart sank. Someone forced him. Maybe. But right now, we don't have evidence of a crime. I stood. So you're doing nothing? We're opening a missing person case. That's not enough. It has to be. I walked out before I said something I would regret. Outside, I called Ethan again. Voicemail. The hallway felt strangely quiet. An elderly woman opened the next door before I could knock. You must be Ethan's brother. I looked at her. How do you know me? He showed me your pictures. I'm Mrs. Alvarez. I forced a smile. I'm looking for Ethan. Her face fell. He isn't home. I shook my head. She hesitated. I saw him arguing with a man a few days ago. My pulse jumped. What man? Nice suit. Expensive watch. Did you hear anything? Only one sentence. What was it? She looked nervous. The man said, you should have taken the money. I froze. What did Ethan say? He answered, I'd rather lose everything. Goosebumps spread across my arms. Did you tell the police? They never asked. Can you describe him? Tall. Dark hair. Calm voice. Anything else? She thought for a moment. He drove a black sedan. License plate? I'm sorry. It's okay. I thanked her and entered Ethan's apartment with the spare key. Everything looked normal. His coffee mug sat in the sink. His shoes were beside the door. His bed was unmade. He hadn't packed for a trip. I searched every room. Nothing. Then I noticed his camera bag. Inside were lenses, batteries, and memory cards. At the bottom, hidden under the padding, was a small black notebook. I opened it. Every page was filled with names. Dates. Numbers. Some words were crossed out. Others were circled. None of it made sense. What were you doing? I whispered. My phone rang. Detective Hayes. I found something. What? A receipt from the bank. So? It confirms your brother withdrew everything himself. I don't care about the money. You should. Why? Because after leaving the bank, he bought a one-way bus ticket. I closed my eyes. Where to? We don't know. How is that possible? It was purchased in cash. I looked at the notebook again. Something felt wrong. Very wrong. Ethan wouldn't leave me. I understand why you feel that way. No, you don't. I ended the call. I sat alone in the apartment. The notebook rested on my lap. The names. The numbers. The strange dates. None of them belonged in Ethan's life. I flipped to the last page. There was only one sentence. Trust nobody. My heart pounded. A knock echoed through the apartment. I looked toward the front door. Another knock. Slow. Heavy. I wasn't expecting anyone. I carefully slipped the notebook into my jacket. The knocking came again. This time, a man's voice spoke through the door. Mr. Carter. I didn't answer. We just need to talk. Every instinct told me not to open that door. Chapter 3, The Man Who Lied with a Smile. I waited without making a sound. The man knocked again. Mr. Carter. I know you're in there. I looked through the peephole. A man in a gray suit stood outside with a polite smile. He looked calm, almost friendly. I unlocked the door halfway. Who are you? He smiled wider. My name is Adrian Cole. My heart skipped a beat. I've never heard of you. I worked with your brother. You mean his old job? That's right. What do you want? I heard Ethan disappeared. I stared at him. Who told you? We still have friends at the office. His answer came too quickly. I'm sorry for your loss, he said. I didn't say he was dead. His smile faded for a second. Then it returned. My mistake. I crossed my arms. What did Ethan do for you? He worked in accounting. Did he have any problems? None that I noticed. He emptied his bank account. I heard. He quit without warning. People make strange choices. His answer sounded perfect. Too perfect. I studied his face. Not once did he look surprised. Not once did he ask where Ethan had gone. Instead, he looked like someone waiting for me to stop asking questions. I found some of Ethan's notes. His eyes narrowed for the smallest moment. What kind of notes? I haven't figured them out yet. I wouldn't waste your time. Why not? They probably don't mean anything. I smiled. I'll decide that. He reached into his pocket and handed me a business card. If you need anything, call me. I doubt I will. I'm only trying to help. I watched him walk away without another word. The hallway suddenly felt colder. Something about Adrian Cole made my skin crawl. Later that afternoon, I drove to the company where Ethan had worked. The receptionist smiled politely. Do you have an appointment? No. I'm here to see Adrian Cole. She picked up the phone. A minute later she smiled again. Mr. Cole will see you now. His office overlooked the city. Books lined the walls. Family photos sat neatly on his desk. He stood to greet me. I'm glad you came. I have questions. I expected that. He motioned toward a chair. Please. I remained standing. Were you the last person to see Ethan at work? As far as I know. What was he like? Quiet. Worried? He shrugged. I suppose. Did he ever mention being followed? No. Did he ever accuse anyone of threatening him? No. Every answer came without hesitation. Almost rehearsed. He folded his hands. I know this is difficult. You don't know anything. I know what it's like to lose people. Then tell me why my brother disappeared. I wish I could. I pulled out the notebook. His eyes landed on it immediately. You recognize this? No. Really? I've never seen it. He looked away too quickly. I slipped it back into my pocket. I'm done here. As you wish. As I reached the door, he spoke again. If Ethan contacts you. I turned around. Please tell him he's already caused enough damage. I stared at him. What does that mean? He smiled again. I simply mean his coworkers are worried. I left without answering. The elevator doors opened. A young man rushed inside just before they closed. He kept glancing at me. Then he slipped something into my jacket pocket. My eyes widened. Before I could speak, he whispered. "Don't trust Adrian." The doors opened again. He hurried out without looking back. I reached into my pocket. A folded note. It contained one sentence. "Meet me tonight. Come alone." There was an address underneath. That evening I arrived at an empty parking garage. The young man stepped out from behind a concrete pillar. "You came. You left me a note." He nodded. "My name's Noah. You work for Adrian. I used to work for your brother. What do you know?" He looked around nervously. "Ethan found something." "What?" "Money." "What kind of money?" "Millions." "I don't understand." "It wasn't legal." My pulse quickened. "Keep talking." "He discovered fake accounts." "Whose accounts?" "Adrian's company." "So report him." Ethan tried. "What happened?" "They found out." I felt my stomach twist. Is that why Ethan disappeared? Noah opened his mouth. Suddenly headlights flooded the garage. A black SUV sped toward us. "Run!" Noah shouted. The vehicle slammed into a concrete barrier where we had been standing seconds before. Two men jumped out. "Get them!" Noah grabbed my arm. "This way!" We sprinted between parked cars. Footsteps echoed behind us. "They're gaining on us!" I yelled. "I know." We reached a stairwell. A loud crash echoed below. Someone was coming up. "We're trapped," I whispered. "No." Noah shoved open a maintenance door. We squeezed inside. The room was dark. We held our breath. Heavy footsteps stopped outside. One man spoke. "They can't be far." Another answered. "Find the notebook." My blood turned cold. They weren't looking for me. They were looking for Ethan's evidence. The footsteps slowly faded. I finally exhaled. I turned toward Noah. "You were right." His face was pale. "I told you." I grabbed his shirt. "No more lies." He nodded. "I'll tell you everything." His phone suddenly buzzed. He looked at the screen. The color drained from his face. "What is it?" I asked. He swallowed hard. "It's Adrian." Before I could react, Noah shoved me backward. "I'm sorry." He ran out the opposite door. I stood frozen. The notebook was gone. Noah had stolen it. Chapter 4, Every clue cost something. I stood there in the dark maintenance room, trying to understand what had just happened. "Noah!" I shouted. Only silence answered me. My hands shook. He used me. I slammed my fist against the wall. The notebook was gone. The one thing Ethan had left behind. I ran out into the parking garage, but Noah had disappeared. The black SUV was gone too. I pulled out my phone and called Detective Rachel Hayes. She answered on the second ring. "Mr. Carter. I found someone who knows what happened to Ethan." "Slow down." He said Ethan uncovered financial crimes. "Who is he?" "His name is Noah." "Last name?" "I don't know." "Where is he now?" "He stole my brother's notebook and ran." There was a long pause. "Stay where you are," she said. "I'm coming." 20 minutes later, Rachel arrived. She looked around the garage. No cameras. I laughed bitterly. Again. She frowned. You think someone planned this? I don't think. I know. She studied my face. Tell me everything. I explained the meeting. Adrian. The warning note. The SUV. The chase. Noah's betrayal. When I finished, she sighed. This is bigger than I expected. So you finally believe me? I believe someone wants you to stop asking questions. That's enough for me. She handed me her card. If anyone contacts you, call me first. I will. It was a lie. The next morning I sat in my apartment staring at Ethan's silver lighter. I turned it over in my hand again and again. Talk to me, I whispered. My phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. I didn't betray Ethan. Meet me alone. Noah. I typed back immediately. Where? The reply came seconds later. Public library. Second floor. Noon. I arrived 10 minutes early. Noah was already there, sitting between rows of old books. He looked exhausted. You came. You stole the notebook. I had to. You lied. I saved your life. I stared at him. Explain. He leaned closer. The men in the garage weren't chasing you. I know. They wanted the notebook. So why take it? Because if you had it, you'd already be dead. I didn't answer. He slowly placed the notebook on the table. I never planned to keep it. I looked at him carefully. You expect me to trust you? No. Then why am I here? Because Ethan trusted someone else. Who? You. I frowned. What does that mean? He told me if anything happened, you'd keep fighting. My throat tightened. He said that? Noah nodded. He believed in you. For a moment, neither of us spoke. Then he opened the notebook. There's something you missed. He flipped to the back cover. Hidden inside was a tiny memory card. I stared at it. How did I not see that? Ethan was careful. I picked it up. What does it contain? I don't know. We need someone who can read it. I know someone. An hour later I knocked on the apartment door of my college friend, Lily Chen. She opened it and smiled. I haven't seen you in years. I need help. She looked at my face. This isn't a social visit. No. She stepped aside. Come in. After listening to everything, Lily crossed her arms. So someone disappeared, people are chasing you, and this tiny card might explain why. That's about it. She laughed softly. You always find trouble. I wish I didn't. She inserted the memory card into her computer. Lines of encrypted files appeared. What? This isn't ordinary encryption. Can you open it? Give me time. How much? A few hours. I'll wait. She shook her head. No. What? If someone is watching you, they may be watching this place too. My stomach dropped. You think we're in danger? I think your brother expected this. She continued typing. Minutes passed. Finally she smiled. I'm in. What did you find? Her smile disappeared. Bank transfers. To who? Several fake companies. Can you trace them? I'm trying. The screen suddenly went black. What happened? Lily frowned. My system just crashed. By itself? No. She looked at me. Someone just accessed my network remotely. Before either of us could move, we heard glass